I'm Heather.
And I'm Dylan.
And this is Mountain Murders Offbeat.
Oh, so that's where we're at.
Welcome to the sideshow.
Hello.
Right, so it's midweek and it is time to bring you a mini episode. And this week, since you're listening to this on Wednesday, I'm actually probably in surgery at this moment, or maybe have just gotten out by the time you listen to this. So we decided, in preparation for all of that, to keep it light this week.
Yeah, we decided to try to keep it light, but I'll tell you what, I found a story that pisses me off.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we're kind of keeping it light, keeping it loose, low-key, a little relaxed kind of episode. So we're going to be discussing a couple of true crime stories and then just some fucking weird shit.
I love weird shit.
I do too.
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, so what do you want to open up with?
Well, I think you should tell us about your infuriating story that has you so riled. And, I mean, with within good reason for that, because it has me a little riled too.
Yeah, this actually is connected to a rather famous case from 2017, the Delphi Murders. Apparently in the same county, James Brian Chadwell has been arrested and charged with attempted murder, attempted molestation, and various other horrible crimes to a 9-year-old. And he lives approximately 15 miles from Delphi.
Well, the guy looks like a super creep.
He is 42 years old, and he is from Lafayette, Indiana, and he looks like a super douche creep man.
If I saw this man in public, I would be weirded out by him. Like, there's just something about him. He has a very unsettling vibe, for sure.
So, yes, a 9-year-old girl went missing there in Indiana, and she was reported missing approximately 30 minutes after she was last seen. Thank God for these police officers here, because their quick actions definitely saved her life. They actually had made contact with Mr. Chadwell II, James Brian Chadwell II. Okay? So, go ahead and remember that douche name.
Mr. Chadwell.
They had already made contact with him one time, and he said that the little girl had been around earlier, but, he didn't know where she was now. And authorities, I'm sure just from looking at this guy, because he looks like a creep. He's kind of muscled up, has a bunch of weird tattoos, which I'll get into in a minute.
Doesn't really have a whole lot of neck.
Doesn't have a lot of neck.
There's something about him that reminds me of Ed from 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah, it's just
just sort of like a big, meat-headed, dumbass-looking dude.
Yeah, so the authorities made contact with him and quickly came back. I'm sure he was kind of pinging their interest, if you will. And they asked if they could search the home, and they actually found the missing girl in the basement that had a chain door, and most of her clothes had already been removed, and she had been beaten and attempted sexual assault.
Who the fuck does this to a 9-year-old child?
Who does this?
What is wrong with people?
So the victim, who's obviously her name's not being released, as it shouldn't be, said that he told her, oh, here's another, she also has dog bites. The man has a pit bull, and he got her to come into the home to pet his dog. Total pedo move. And apparently attacked her, knocked her out, struck her in the head multiple times, put her in a headlock. She passed out. That's when she woke up. Most of her clothing was removed. And he attempted to sexually assault her and then attempted to force her to give him oral sex. I just want to shoot this guy in the fucking face, man.
They need to just put him in an empty room with 30 angry pit bulls and let them just tear him from limb to limb.
Yes, or with 30 men who are in jail for some other reason besides hurting women or children, and they're missing their family and, scared of people like this hurting their family while they're in there, and just let them beat him and rip him limb from fucking limb.
Well, I understand we have due process, yada yada, in this country, whatever that means, because the system's just fucked, we know. But this guy caught in the act, they better throw the damn book at this guy. Like, there should be no way that any kind of attorney could argue his way out of this, and he needs a maximum sentence.
Yes. I mean, I know, like you said, everybody needs to be represented and a fair trial and all this, but you guys have to look into this. Now, he also has some very, very strange tattoos.
Yes, you were explaining these tattoos.
They're
this is a very disturbing ink.
And now, I'm not one to judge someone's ink. It means that something to them. It's cool to them. I've never been like, oh, you have shitty tattoos or anything like that.
Well, you can't, Dylan, because you have some of the worst tattoos I've ever seen on a person.
Yeah, we'll post those on Instagram. We'll let everyone judge my shitty 90s tattoos.
Oh my gosh, can we?
We can.
I feel like people would really enjoy that.
Because I'm totally about to get some real cover up and real ink for once in my life, so I'm open for that.
Are you going to get a tattoo of like a cheeseburger?
I'm bringing back the tribal symbols of the late 90s.
You're bringing it back?
I'm getting more of the same.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, so these tattoos, oh my God, they're so creepy. They are basically of girls that appear to be crying blood. Young girls' faces.
Like little girls.
Like little girls' faces.
It's not like women, or you could say like, oh, well, those are like zombie pinup girls or something.
No, nothing like that.
It's very obvious.
And one looks very strangely similar to Libby, one of the victims of the Delphi murders.
Which, by the way, if you are unfamiliar with that case, I mean, if you're a true crime aficionado, there's no way you could like not know about that case. It was huge. But basically, these two girls are walking at like this old railroad trestle and end up dead. There's actually cell phone footage, video that one of the girls shot of the perpetrator. But they have yet to identify this guy.
With a brief audio.
Yeah.
Of his voice.
And he orders them like down the hill. And there's a great podcast out there called Down the Hill about the Delphi murders. Really intense podcast, interviews with the family, law enforcement. And, you know, having listened to that podcast, Dylan, it really strikes a chord, I guess, in me that when you said these investigators, like right off the bat, took this missing child complaint seriously, immediately went to this guy's house.
Yes.
It's probably because that case is lingering for this whole community. I mean, these officers, these detectives who worked that case and are still actively working that case, I mean, they have put blood, sweat, tears into trying to solve those two, you know, who murdered those two girls.
It's true.
So it probably, for them, this was like, we have to do better. We have to do more. We have to save this girl.
Yes, and so this fucking guy, I want to punch him in his stupid fucking face.
I just want to cut his head off.
Oh my God. So he lives approximately 15 miles from the town where the two missing girls in the Delphi murder, the two murdered girls there in Delphi. So authority there are taking a very hard look at him. Obviously, why wouldn't you? This is obviously a child predator in your midst. And they have nothing concrete as of yet, but I mean, they're very, very interested in this guy.
They're going to climb up this dude's ass with a microscope.
And even if there is nothing that comes of that, look what he's done, and he should never, ever be on the street again.
Well, who's to say he hasn't done it before?
Just had it. Yeah. I mean, if you can brutalize a child like that, do any one of these things he was doing?
Well, that doesn't sound like a crime that's committed for the first time.
No.
Like, this is not a novice, like, newbie offender, and this is the first victim. Like, normally we see those situations where there's a failed, like, attempted kidnapping, doesn't quite work out, or they might get the child in the car, or they lure them away from a friend, or something like that, and maybe they go through with, you know, violating this child or whatever, and then maybe they get busted, maybe they don't. But this is a crime that, like, escalates, it seems. Like,
well, the little girl
does not seem like somebody just grabbed a kid for the first time. 30 minutes later, they have her in a basement, like, torturing her.
Right. He wasn't wrestling with his emotions or his feelings.
No.
He knew what he wanted to do.
This is a man
he
who's
had
done
the
this before.
Opportunity.
I would bet you $5 he's done this like multiple times.
And a post on Facebook from a woman who said she was related to the 9-year-old victim claimed Chadwell strangled her so bad blood came out of her eyes. Her trachea is damaged to where all she can do is eat through a straw. And if it hadn't been for the speed of the Lafayette Police Department arriving on the scene, she would be dead. She's only 9. He's punching her, and his pit bull was biting her. She praised first responders. And I agree completely with her. Those are heroes. They saved that poor little girl. And this man better never, ever be let back out onto the street.
Fuck that guy. He deserves to be executed for
God,
that.
in a Facebook post, Chadwell wrote, "I'm in love with a little redhead. You make my soul smile. I'll chase you till I can't walk. Then I'll chase you in my wheelchair." What the fuck?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with here.
I mean, I'm just speechless. This is probably one of the shittiest persons on the planet.
He also shared numerous posts and photos showing he had an affinity for the woods and outdoors, as well as a picture of a railroad bridge. Very interesting.
That's my aha moment right there.
In June 2020 post, he wrote, "Sleeping under a bridge for a while till work starts. Only 10 days, cool, dry, no neighbors, and the bridge is only 6 minutes from work. Be thankful for the little things." Wow.
What a fucking creep.
Very interesting. And then they go on to show images of the Delphi killer and actually composites that don't look that much unlike him.
Really?
God,
we will post some of those photos on Instagram for people to check out. And where are you reading this information in case they want the full article?
Yes, this is actually 5 things you should know about this piece of shit.
Is this from The Heavy?
This is from theheavy.com.
Yeah, okay. They always
Breaking
do
news.
Those 5 things you need to know lists.
Jesus. Okay, now you can move on.
Okay, well, I'm going to lighten the mood, I guess, with a fucked up story, but less fucked up than that one, maybe.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so a group of South Carolinians were four-wheeling when they visited this home over the weekend that was allegedly haunted. And now one report says that they're adults, but other reports describe them as a group of teenagers. And it does seem like one of the people present in this group is 18, which is still an adult, but they're also still kids, let's be honest. So these kids are out ghost hunting on four-wheelers when they go into this old haunted house and they find this abandoned home. It's in Norway, South Carolina. There's 8 of them, by the way. They are just out having a good time, doing a little ghost hunting. While they are exploring the house, they find a deep freezer on the back porch.
Uh-oh.
One of the 18-year-olds decided to open up the freezer, and guess what he fucking found?
A body.
A body.
Oh my God.
Yes. He got a whiff of something he said smelled like rotten meat. Like it was just so horrible. Then he saw a dead body stuffed in a pair of blue jeans wearing socks.
I never ever want to smell that.
No. So, of course, the kids stop exploring and immediately call law enforcement. Investigators did find a dead body in the freezer. They have confirmed that. An autopsy is pending. The identity, the cause of death haven't been released yet. Of course, I'm assuming just because that autopsy is pending, they still have to identify the remains, all of that. But here's the weird part, Dylan. If it can get any weirder than finding a dead body in a freezer, is that just 2 days after this grim discovery, the house burns down.
Oh.
And they're taking this very seriously, considering it suspicious, believing that it's an arson job, because the house was a total loss.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like someone's heard the story of the body being found and has doubled back to cover up their tracks.
One of the members of the group, a girl, her name is Madison Childers, she said that you couldn't even tell it was a person because it had been in there for months, and obviously it was extremely, in modes of decomposition, stages of... Yeah.
It'd be almost
in a deep freezer?
Yes.
Ew.
It'd be like liquefying in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's so horrible for that poor victim. for their remains to be treated.
I know. And Childress said there were just maggots everywhere. Ugh. So likely a terrible sight. And one of the group members named Riley Robinson said that she always heard that once you smell a human, you can never forget that smell, and that she's still smelling that death stench now.
Oh, I guarantee you, they say it's a very specific dead smell. And just like they say, if you smell like victims of a fire or something, them actively burning a human body, that is kind of sweet, sickly sweet, and you'll never forget that smell either. And I've never smelled either of those, and I don't want to. I hope I never do.
Yes, it's pretty bad.
Wow.
And how scary. I mean, you're out for a joyride. A lot of people go four-wheeling, especially here in Appalachia. That's like a really big hobby for people. And you go to like this house, this destination that's supposedly haunted. So that's kind of fun. You're with a group of friends like poking around this abandoned house.
Yeah, and it's all kind of in jest and fun. And
now, the last thing I'm going to do if I'm at an old property and I see like a deep freezer, anything like that, is open it. I'm not going to be that one. Nope.
I'm going to assume there's a dead body in there as soon as I see it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter
because
if it's...
there's no reason that someone's going to leave a perfectly good deep freezer behind.
No.
Okay? Those things are expensive.
Hard to find now.
Yeah, they are.
Unless there's a dead body in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume there's usually that one person in a group.
If I find like a 50-gallon barrel drum with a lid on it, just hanging out on a back porch or in a barn or something, dead body.
Or under like under the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely dead body.
In the back corner of like the unfinished dirt basement. I'm
Yes.
not fucking opening that.
I'm not moving it. I'm not touching
Anybody that's got the balls to open, and I'm saying balls, this can mean men, women, children, your grandma, I don't care. Anybody that's got the cojones to pop that lid and look down in that fucking deep freezer, knowing there's probably a body in there, because what else would be in there?
Well,
Those people have balls, because I would never. I would be way too freaked out. I would be scared.
Not going to find any tasty pizza bots. I guarantee you that.
Well, at minimum, you're probably going to find like a big old dead rat.
Or rotten food.
Like a big old dead rat. Like a big old fucking fat Templeton rat that's all like...
Is that what it's doing?
Just busting at the seams.
Oh.
You know, smelling all funky. It's a little like rat skull, like hanging out. No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah, so you're just kicking it with your friends, having some yucks, laughs.
Joking,
and then you find a body.
Maybe doing a little smoking.
Yeah.
Ew, I know. So, but at least that was a bit lighter than your story.
Yeah, a little bit.
I know, it was bad. I do have a lighter story, like for real though.
No, that's fine. That's what we're here to do.
Let's lift the mood. And we could probably file this under like one of the dumbest crimes, in my opinion.
Okay, I love dumb criminal news.
It's pretty dumb. And not to be stereotypical, but guess where it takes place?
I'm going to guess Florida.
How did you know?
Oh my gosh.
Ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner.
Nothing against people in Florida.
Okay. So a Florida teenager is accused of rigging a homecoming queen election with her mother.
What kind of how cheesy is that?
It's so cheesy.
That you rig the homecoming queen.
I'm like, get the fuck over it. Like, for real. Okay. So Emily Rose Grover was 17 when she was arrested in March. Then she turned 18 in April. So this week, actually, Tuesday, so yesterday, the state's attorney's office in Escambia County confirmed that they're going to be charging her as an adult. This girl, Emily Grover, and her mother, Laura Carroll, who is 50, they face multiple felony charges from trying to rig this October homecoming vote at Tate High School in Pensacola. So the mother was the assistant principal at Bellevue Elementary School in the same county.
Okay.
So this is a woman who is educated and is she's a professional.
Yeah, and she's an educator administrator
Yes.
of children.
At minimum, she's got a master's, right? So we're not talking about just some dumbass. You'd think but she's being a fucking dumbass. I don't know.
Well, it just goes to show you it doesn't matter your education level or any of that. You just can't. Trash is trash.
You would just hold somebody in a position like a school administrator to a higher standard, right?
You would think so.
So Laura Carroll, being the assistant principal at Bellevue Elementary School in the same county, was able to access the school district's internal system and cast fraudulent votes for her daughter in order for Emily Rose to win. So the investigation began in November when the school district reported unauthorized access into hundreds of student accounts.
Oh, really?
So they pick this up. They see that this is a thing. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Then I guess the homecoming court votes were flagged as fraudulent.
Oh, my God.
Like in the system. So there were 117 votes that were from the same IP address within this very short period of time. And so when they started looking at the evidence, it was unauthorized access to the system linked by Carol's cell phone and her home computer.
What a dumbass.
She cast 246 votes for homecoming court from those two devices. As if the IT department is just never going to be able to figure that out or find that information.
Yeah, because that was so well hidden.
No. So they found this information. Multiple students told investigators that Emily Rose Grover described using her mother's access, like to the school system, or being able to access records for years. That this girl would always brag that she could get into her school account and other people's accounts with her mother's access.
She probably wasn't lying.
So this was like, I guess, a known thing for these high school students, and they looked back, and since August of 2019, so what, maybe a year and a half ago, she had accessed, we're talking about the principal, Mrs. Carroll, accessed 372 high school records, and 339 of those were Tate students. And she's an elementary school principal. She wouldn't have any reason to access those high school records.
What the hell? Is she changing stuff?
Probably. And because she is a higher up in the system, she had district level access to like all of the school board's programs.
Okay.
Yeah. And it requires users to change their password every 45 days. She was required to undergo this like staff responsible use for technology class, like periodically. I mean, so she knew what she was doing and she was wrong. They've suspended her. It's not clear if she's been fired yet. Her daughter was expelled from the high school, and now they both are facing charges against users of computers, computer systems, unlawful use of two-way communications devices, criminal use of personally identifiable information, and conspiracy to commit those offenses. The mother, Laura Carroll, is free on a $6,000 bond, and her daughter is free on a $2,000 bond, but they each face a maximum of 16-year sentences.
Oh my God.
If they are like given the maximum.
What a dumbass.
What the fuck? Like, I've never, and maybe I'm just an underachiever, which I totally am, but I've like never been so consumed with something or winning something that I would ever like try to rig the system so I could win. Like, I'm just not that passionate.
Well, it sounds like her mother was accessing and doing God knows what for, quite some time, long before homecoming, and just figured it was one more thing she could abuse her power to, and sway or affect the outcome of. And that's just messed up. For one, it's just homecoming. Calm down. And two, it really screws people who are doing the right thing the right way. And it just gives the wrong people an unfair advantage.
Okay, I'm looking at pictures of the mom and daughter, and I'm like, they both look like trouble.
Oh. Ooh.
Like, mom's got crazy eyes. You know what I mean,
yeah.
people, when I talk about crazy eyes?
Oh, people know what you mean.
Yeah, she's got crazy eyes. Like, Eileen Wuornos had some serious crazy eyes. This chick has, the mom has crazy eyes, and then the daughter just has one of those faces that's like, I've never been told no in my whole life.
Oh, my God.
Like, I'm going to post pictures of mom and daughter on our Instagram as well. So you'll be able to go there and check these out because, yeah.
You can put their pictures right below my pictures of my tattoos.
Oh my gosh, we were going to have to do that, Dylan.
Thanks.
Do you have any other true crime news for us, or would you like me to move on to like my next bit of news?
I would like for you to move on.
Okay, so another piece of true crime news out of Florida. Okay, a Florida man and his 3 sons were indicted for allegedly selling a dangerous chemical mix called Miracle Mineral Solution.
Oh, wow.
As a cure for COVID-19 and dozens of other serious health conditions.
Why not?
So we have our 2021 snake oil salesman.
So it's a
magical cure.
Pappy's all-natural root oil cure-all.
Yep, exactly.
Nasty.
You can rub it on. You can drink it.
You can just put a little
inject
dirt.
It.
Put a little dirt with it. It cures most anything. Diseases known and unknown to mankind.
Yep. So 62-year-old Mark Grennan and his 3 sons, Jonathan, Jordan, and Joseph, stand accused of marketing and selling tens of thousands of bottles of MMS, the Miracle Mineral Solution, all over the United States, claiming that it can treat, prevent, and cure COVID, as well as other diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, HIV and AIDS, malaria, and even autism.
That's what I always love about these guys. They always shoot for the moon. I mean, they always go all the way. And now, are you telling me they sold tens of thousands of bottles of this stuff?
Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, I'm not going to trust anything that's like a 9-in-1 solution.
Unless it's hair and conditioner products.
No, I don't do that either. You do that because you are a boy.
That's what men do, a 9-in-1. You can also use as a coolant in your car.
It also works with WD-40. So if you got a hurt knee, you can just spray some of that shampoo right there, and it'll take the numbing out.
It removes calluses. It makes your hair soft. It conditions your scalp. It also is a coolant for your car.
I also grew a couple extra hairs in my balls with this.
You can also lubricate things with it.
Oh, God. No, thank you. Yeah, so I mean, first that's crazy. And then I'm like, who the fuck are these thousands of people who are buying this shit? Like, ooh, let me run out and get some Miracle Mineral Solution because it's going to cure my gout.
God, was this literally in like an old-timey bottle with like a crossbones, skull and crossbones on it?
I hope so. I feel like we need to find some of those.
I want a bottle now.
Well, prosecutors dispute those claims, saying that this Miracle Mineral Solution is actually a solution that, when ingested, becomes chlorine dioxide, a powerful bleach typically used for industrial water treatment or bleaching textiles, pulp, and paper.
Oh my God. I was going to say, I think I have that chemical at the paper mill. Seriously. So it turns into poison.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to cure your malaria because you're going to die.
See, they ain't got to worry about
malaria because they're dead.
No more dementia for that guy.
Yeah.
Because he's dead.
I mean, what?
It's literally called the Miracle Mineral Solution.
Yeah.
Jeez. You know, I'm not going to make fun of the people that bought it.
I am.
But, I mean, come on, people. Come on. Do you really believe any of that? Man, you know, what if they had tested it and it, like, worked? It's like curing everything. Cancer, obesity.
Yeah, and you're just going to fucking die.
Baldness.
It's all fun and games, Dylan, until your, like, organs fall out of your butthole.
Who's to say industrial grade bleach is not good for the human body?
I hate to tell you guys, but I think that's my lungs I just shit out right there.
Oh my God.
Having a real hard time breathing.
I wish I'd have had some of that earlier.
What, some to shit your lungs out?
No, just so I can keep this COVID off of me. That damn Rona got me.
All you got to do is be like, it's like the devil. You just got to tell it to get behind you.
Get behind me, devil.
Get behind me, COVID. That's what you got to do.
Blow it away, honey.
Well, no, I'm just telling it, you get behind me.
You get behind me, COVID.
I'm going to run it off like it's a Sasquatch. I'm going to be like, get. And I got my broom, like, chasing it down the walkway.
You get down in that scuttle hole.
You get.
The devil's down there.
Not get, but you get. G-I-T, you get.
Devil was down there.
Shoot.
My mama told
I'm
that.
shooing you away. Shoot.
My mama told that devil to get. Now you get on out of here, devil. Okay. I think we just cured a couple of things.
I think we made a few things worse. All right. So in other true crime news, this is a really sad story out of West Virginia. A missing woman was found in a deep water well on a farm, and a 41-year-old man is charged with her murder.
Yes, I saw that one. Very, very sad.
Cheyenne Johnson of Jackson County, West Virginia, was reported missing. She's 35 years old, and she was last seen on Thursday, so last week, near Cottageville, West Virginia. And her family hadn't heard from her for a couple of days. Police were, trying to do a search, trying to figure out where she was, when they got a tip from somebody who had overheard some folks talking about a murder. So a woman had called the sheriff's office saying that she had information on Cheyenne Johnson. And so when she met up with detectives, she had told them that she had overheard this man saying that he had brought the woman to a farm in Derricks Creek. He slit her throat and buried her. So that led detectives to Kanawha. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Kanawha County, West Virginia.
That sounds right.
We have some listeners out there who are going to correct me, and thank you for that, because I'm probably butchering it. I don't mean to be disrespectful. So they talked to this lady who lives on his farm. Her name is Virginia Smith. She lives on Britton Ridge Road in Charleston, which is near Sisonville. And she is the girlfriend of this 41-year-old man named Michael Smith. She said she didn't know Cheyenne Johnson, but she took them to a mine well. Like a mine well? What's that? Do you know?
Well, I'm going to assume it's like a mine well. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so it's sounds like it's shit, I don't know exactly.
Okay.
So it's going to be a well. It's going to go straight down into the earth.
That's what I figured, but I was like, what does it have to do with a mine? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure how that actually works.
Are they doing some fracking on this property? I don't know.
Yeah,
so I know I probably sound like a moron, but I really didn't know, so I thought maybe you did.
So where's that industrial slurry getting sent to after you get done fracking, you son of a bitch?
Well, okay, so Virginia Smith takes them to this mine well and says that this is where Michael Smith had basically put this woman. So Ms. Johnson at that point was considered the victim of homicide, and they think that she was killed on Thursday. Then when they talked to Michael Smith, he did admit to killing her and that he had indeed placed her body in that deep well on the property. He said he shot Johnson in the head with a rifle and then dragged her over to the well and dumped her body into it. Johnson had stolen Virginia Smith's car, according to Michael. So
okay.
Cheyenne stole his girlfriend's car.
Well, that gives him no right to do what he did.
And she brought it back, and that he killed her during this argument.
Well, that's totally inappropriate.
Arguing about the car or whatever.
Yeah, but she brought it back, dude.
So he was arrested, charged with first-degree murder. He is being held in jail, still hasn't made bail or anything yet. And at this point, it doesn't look like he's retained an attorney either. Well, I mean, he's a piece of work. He's got like a black and gray Confederate flag neck tattoo with a WV, like for West Virginia University or whatever.
Yeah.
In the tattoo.
Yeah, that's a very good sign that someone's very open-minded and reasonable. I mean, I'm just
level-headed. I'm not sure what the two have to do with each other, but he's obviously a West Virginia fan.
It means something to him.
Yeah, but he's got like this neck tattoo, and he's got a very frowny face.
Well, he should be sad. I mean, it doesn't sound to me like. I mean, I know shit happens, but that just sounds like a dumb reason for someone to end up dead, right?
Yep.
I mean, it wasn't some fight that got out of control, or I guess you're kind of describing it as that, but still, I mean, over a car that was brought back, I mean, I understand being mad, someone taking your property and things like that, but, I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, shoot
her,
kill
her,
well,
and then throw her remains down a well.
That's shitty.
That's very shitty. God.
Well, and to be honest, his tattoo is not very nice. I mean, it looks like someone did it at a flea market.
While he was waiting on his airbrush tags?
Yeah.
He's like, you know what would make his day better?
A funnel cake and a neck tattoo.
A funnel cake and a neck tattoo. There just happens to be a funnel cake booth on this side and a neck tattoo guy doing it out of his trunk on this side.
Actually, so I have kind of a funny story about tattoo flea market tattoos.
Yeah. Tell me.
Okay, I mean, it's not like a great story or anything, but I guess my point is that's actually a thing. So when I worked in radio, there was a flea market that would advertise with us on occasion. And at one point, I was there for some kind of live remote type of thing and started talking to one of the vendors or something who mentioned that at one point, like, my cousin had a tattoo shop here. And I was like, a tattoo shop? And they were trying to tell me that, like, their cousin had a tattoo booth set up in the open air flea market.
Ooh, that sounds really not clean.
Sanitary.
Yeah.
It's like a dusty parking lot.
Yep.
It's gravel.
It's not inside a
You're
building.
Walking around on mud and dirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every tattoo came with extra redness.
Then one time I was driving home from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I stopped off, I want to say, like, outside of Burlington, maybe, at a truck stop. Because, of course, I'm one of those people on a road trip that has to pee every, like, 10 minutes. So I pull over, go inside. There is the bathroom, like the Subway restaurant, and then a tattoo shop inside the truck stop.
Yes. Now, I want to get a tattoo at that place.
It was different. I mean, I get it. They're renting, like, a space. They had it set up like a store. It was like its own little entity inside the truck stop.
Okay.
So, you know, it can be sanitary. That's fine. But I just thought that was a really interesting place to locate your business.
Yeah, you get a meatball sub and a tattoo.
So how many truckers are like, hey, I just pulled a 12-hour, got to pull in here, take a quick shower, get some grub, fix my logbooks. Oh, you know what? It is time to get that Taz tattoo on my titty.
Or the I Heart Mom.
I love the I Heart Mom tattoo.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to get the I Heart Mom, like the I Love Mom tattoo, like the heart shape, but I'm just going to get Sorry Mom tattooed.
I might get that.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to get I Heart Mom.
I'm going to get Sorry Mom.
Yeah, because I love my mom.
Well, I'm just apologizing to her because I'm probably everything she didn't want me to be.
Well, that's okay. I mean, she didn't know you were going to be an incredible podcaster.
No.
She had no idea. She didn't know what a damn podcast was back in the day.
I'm not sure she knows what one is now.
She does.
Does she?
I don't know. Well, she ain't heard. If you ain't heard this, Angie, oh well.
No. I mean, I think she's listened to the podcast. She loves true crime, but my mom watches the ID channel like nonstop.
That's her gig, huh?
She's always watching like the ID channel.
Okay.
So she likes to watch the true crime shows, but she's not so much into listening to podcasts.
I can respect that.
But she does love her some ID.
As long as she gets that content inside her ear.
Oh, yeah. And she'll always like just randomly text me and be like, you know what? That Jeffrey Dahmer was a real son of a bitch. I'm like, you think so?
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about some of your marketing things you want to throw out there?
What are you talking about?
With the serial killers?
Oh, I mean, we can talk about that a little bit. So if you're on Instagram, you can follow my new little side project. It's called Haint Design Studio. Haint, Haint, Design Studio. And I've been making some little items. I have some great mugs with like Richard Ramirez, #blessed.
Yeah.
Charles Manson's face with like Live, Laugh, Love. So I have some quirky little things there. I made Dylan a great t-shirt with John Wayne Gacy's face, and underneath it says Juggalo.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the right person that gets both those references, and that's going to be my new best friend.
You think so?
Yep.
All right.
But it's going to have to look hard.
Is that why we're best friends? Because it was like my idea, and then here you are?
Yes.
Okay.
It is. You are my
Yeah,
best.
so you can check those things out. We are doing a giveaway on Instagram right now. We're going to be giving away a Mountain Murders like water bottle and mug to the people who comment there. So we have some information about that little giveaway if you want to slide on over and put your name in the hat.
Slide in my DMs.
We'll be announcing the winner. I'm going to end a little contest on Thursday, but we'll announce the winner probably Friday.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we've had many awesome people comment that we may have to give away more than like just the one set of merch.
We might have to.
I have to dig up some stickers and stuff.
Well, you like making it.
Well, I have some old logo stickers So we can maybe send those out to a couple of people.
Those are retro.
They're retro.
They're cool.
They're limited edition.
That's what we call them because we only had so many made.
Okay. Well, that is it. Like I said, I'm going to be heading into surgery for this kidney stone, getting like some laser treatment, like the killer clowns in there with the ray guns. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen there. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. A little bit of a loose fit, just kind of kicking it. And
I'm sure I will feel better by the weekend, and we'll have our true crime story out for you on Sunday. So that's what I was going with was, might have a little rough patch, but we will have true crime on Sunday.
we're still working through some stuff.
We will do it.
It took a global pandemic to derail this man right here, but I'm back.
You're not even derailed.
Ooh,
Look at you.
I'm back.
Yes, you are.
I feel
Are
it.
you ready to have your tattoos portraited?
Yes. I'm
Some
not
tattoo portraiture?
you know what? We can go ahead and lay it down on the record, and you guys can see what I got coming up next. As soon as I have the money to pay for it, I have a really good idea for tats. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you having like a sleeve that's like salad themed?
Yes, it's going to be a salad shooter.
So you get like a big cucumber on your forearm?
Yeah, it's all going to come down into like this very mechanical looking thing, and when I make a fist, it'll be like salad shooter.
It's shooting like a big pepper up your arm?
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty rad.
Okay, see?
Okay.
I have great ideas.
You certainly do. All right, guys. We'll be back on Sunday. Have a great week.